Hello everyone, Nikhil this side from Coding Beam. So in this video we are going to learn about the inheritance in the ES6. So what exactly is the inheritance? So it is a mechanism in which a child class inherits all the properties and methods and the functions from the parent class, and the extend keyword is used in the class declarations or the class expressions to create a class as a child of another class. But why do we need the inheritance? For the reusability of the code, so that we don't have the multiple declarations of same code again and again, and for overriding some methods from the parents class we need the inheritance in the ES6, and for achieving the object oriented approach we need the inheritance. So now if we see a demo, so if I will now go to the Visual Studio Code, and here if I have a class like class car and it contains a constructor function like constructor, it will be the make and the model. So after this I will create the properties of it like the dot make equals to the make, and this dot model equals to the model. So it will get the properties of it. So if I have to define a method here, then it will be the get details. So then after this we have to return about the details of it, like there will be the this dot make and this, and there will be the this dot model. So then if I will inherit this class from the child class, then I need to use the inheritance. So if I will use a child class here, then it will be the class and then class and then it is a buyer, and now we have to use the extends keyword here, extends the car. So after this we have to use the constructor function if we want like constructor, and then we have to inherit from these properties, like first there will be the make and the model from the parent class, and then if we have to use a constructor then we have to use for the buyer, like if the property here is the buyer, then we have to use a buyer, and after this we have to call the super constructor. So super is used to call the parent constructor. So about this, if I will use a super, and then it will inherit the make and the model property from the parent constructor from the parent class. So after this we have to create the object of the buyer class, and then it will be the this dot buyer equals to the buyer. So if I will now override get details function from the parent class, then it will be the get details. So we are now overriding the parent class function, so then it will be the get details, and now we are returning another statement like the buyer, this dot buyer has purchased new, and it would be the make, this dot make and this dot model. So it will be the return statement. So if I will now create a new instance of this class, like it will be the const c or like b equals to the new buyer. So then we have to provide the make, model and the buyer here, because we have now constructor from the buyer class and the make and model is from the parent class. So we have to use here the make. First there will be the make like the Honda, and it is a city, and it is the buyer name, and it will be Nikhil. So if I will now go, and if I will now just console.log, if I will now console.log the b dot get details, then it will override the parent class function and it will give us the this return statements which we have provided in the child class. So if I will now run this, so then you will see Nikhil has purchased the new Honda City. And if we have to run this function from the parent class, then we have to remove from here. So if we remove from here, then the parent class function will run. So if I will now run this, then you will see the parent class function will run, that it is the Honda City. But if I have to run this from the child class, if I have to run this function from the child class, then I need to use, I will first comment it out, and then I need to use return, and it will be super. It will call the parent class like the super dot get details. So it will call the parent class get details function. So if I will now run this, like if I will now run this, so if I will now run, and you will see the parent class function will run from this class. So these are about the inheritance in the JavaScript ES6 and how can we achieve the inheritance in the JavaScript. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you will like the video, and guys please subscribe to our channel if you are new.